Okay, I'm going to show you how to start a hand-built slab cup with a handle. So this is a tumbler. It doesn't have a handle on it, and it has the carved decoration. So remember, besides making the cup with a handle, you need to pick one decoration technique, and then they just use blue rutile on it. This one's a hand-built mug with a handle, and they use the marbling technique. This one's another hand-built kind of tall mug. It has carving and it added on things to it. This one is a wheel thrown one, so we will start throwing again. If you haven't thrown yet, you will be able to throw. And then also I'll try to get kids that have already thrown that want to throw their cup can do that. And it has a handle and slip trailing. This is a hand-built cup with slip trailing as well. And then I'm also going to show you how to do a tripod cup. This one doesn't have a handle, but it has tripod foot. Okay, so you're going to learn a bunch of these different you're going to learn how to do a hand-built one today, but like I said, you might end up doing a thrown one too. So the first thing that you need to do is learn a little bit about slab. So if you want to look at this in more detail, it's on your table in the blue tray. You can keep one in your folder if you want, or you can just use it as reference. So what we're doing for the cup is soft slab. So soft slab is just like it sounds. We put it together when it's soft, okay? Hard slab we'll do the next unit, which is where we let the slabs get leather hard and put it together. So soft slabs tend to be rounded, whereas hard slabs tend to have sharp angles. So if you want to review that, that's in your blue tray, and you can keep one if you want. And then also on your table in the plastic signposts are these directions in case you forget after watching my demo on how to do this. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is get clay. So you would use a big block of clay, so it's usually on the wedging table. If not, ask me and I will get you some. And you're going to take that clay fully out of the bag so that you can cut a long enough piece to make your slab cup. So you're going to take the clay all the way out of the bag, turn it on its side. You'll do this at the wedging table. Okay, measure a finger down, and then use the wire tool. Go about halfway, and then put your thumbs on the side and cut. So it's not really thin on one side and thick on the other. And so the reason we need this long slab instead of the top slab is because you're going to be using a template, and if you just cut off the top, the clay wouldn't be long enough to fit. And if somebody else is using it right away, you don't have to cover it up. Otherwise, please cover it up and use the twist tie or the clip to close that clip bag. So then when you put it in the slab roller, remember that you need to stop at the orange, and you are going to be putting it between the two slab mats. Okay? So when you put it in the slab roller, you're going to put it in hot dog, not hamburger. Okay, so the long way. In between, make the wrong dinner. In between the two slabs. And then you put the blanket down and you just roll it. In case you haven't seen how to do this yet, you'll just roll it until it goes over the bump. And then you go back and stop at the orange because of the cables underneath. We're trying not to go past that. And then just fold the blanket back and you'll have your slab. So remember, you guys are going to do this at your table. So don't shake the slab a lot like this because clay has memory and it could cause it to warp. So put both hands under it and take it there. Also, if it came out pretty long, you can cut some off. This will be for the foot, the base of it, and carry that and then carry this separately. Okay, so over on the counter under the cookie cutters are the templates. So this template is literally from a coffee cup, like a Starbucks cup, and it has that tumbler look, so it's narrower at the bottom. So these are cute. They have a narrow base, but they're harder to smooth the inside. So they work, but you are going to make them with a handle. Otherwise, there are different size mug templates, different heights, okay? And you can always cut those down if you need to. I'm going to show the tumbler to start, but you guys can use either one of those. So what you would do is you would put down the template And you don't have to do this on a slab mat. And then just cut out with your needle tool that shape. And then save this excess clay, like I said, for the base. These scraps, don't leave out on your table. Ball them up and put them in a Ziploc right away. Okay, the templates go back, you'll see where they go. You might also grab a regular cup, but not to wrap the clay around. You'll see why in a sec. Okay, so in your tray I put a new tool. It's called a fettling knife. This one's nice and shiny and new. Yours look like you could get tetanus from them, so I call them tetanus knives, so be careful, okay? They're not that sharp, but they cut a little better for this technique than a needle tool. I only have one per tray, so please be careful and return them with the needle tools. So what you do is you take your slab and you stand it up and you're gonna overlap it like this and kind of press it down. And then you're gonna take either the needle tool or the fettling knife and you're gonna cut it at a 45-degree angle all the way down. So 45-degree over the overlap. So the purpose of this is to create a bevel, which is a 45-degree angle. So then you're gonna take that out. I way overcut this one. Not that way. Okay. And then you're going to slip and score that together. So you must slip and score or it'll come apart in the firing because it's a seam, it's a weak spot. So get some good slip and slip and score both sides. Okay, after you slip and score it, put it together, and then I like to use the scoring tool again and then score that together. Like that. Then use the flat side of the scoring tool to smooth it. So you're gonna build it today, and then we're gonna let it firm up to leather hard, or maybe tomorrow, or maybe Thursday. And after it firms up, it's gonna be a lot easier to shape. So you need to do the outside and the inside. So for the inside, the end of the fettling knife or your needle tool works really good because it's hard to get your hand in there, and you can go in there and smooth it the best you can. So you obviously want to do that before you put the foot on. Okay, so we're going to use banding wheels again. So remember the banding wheels come in two parts. So when you take them out of the cabinet, hold the base. If you drop it, I'm going to cheer because that's what I do, because that helps you remember. Okay, so get a banding wheel, center your cup on the banding wheel like this. And then this is where you might use the paper cup. You can put it in there on the top and kind of shape it around it. Remember not to wrap the clay on the cup, just do that by hand, but that helps shape it. Okay, so the banding wheel is to fix the rim. So this is where the fettling knife is better than the needle tool. So you'll hold the fettling knife, not like a pencil, but like this shape. And you're gonna put that fettling knife at the lowest spot and you're going to stab it in there, hold the rim, and then turn it around. You can also wait until it's leather hard to do this, or use the Sureform tool, the shaver tool. Because when it's wet like this, it's a little harder to use. And then you can trim off that excess clay so you have a smoother rim. And just like with T-bowls, this rim is way too thick and square, so it's going to be hard to drink out of. So you'll want to pinch that rim thinner and make it round. And like I said, you can do some of this work when it firms up a little bit to more of a leather hard stage. Okay, for the foot, you just take your clay. Sometimes you can find a cookie cutter that matches, so you could use the small cookie cutter. Otherwise, just take your other piece of slab, your extra slab, and cut around that with your needle tool. And then if you have extra pieces of slab, you guys can use that to make more coasters, magnets, other things. Otherwise, just make sure you don't leave this out on the table. Put it right away in a plastic bag. If it's really, really fresh still, we're gonna put it back in a regular bag and not in the bin. Okay, and then obviously you're gonna slip and score the foot on. So you take and you're gonna slip and score the base of your cup, and then also slip and score that slab for the foot. And then again, I like to use the scoring tool all the way around to score it. And then use the smooth side to smooth it. I'm not gonna finish that. For this inside part, I have rubber tip tools over there. You can try to get your finger in there. The wood knife can go in there. You just do the best you can to smooth the inside. So if you're gonna be using the tumbler, it's harder to smooth the inside. If you're gonna be making a mug, it's a lot easier because you can usually get your hands in there. So I already put one together. So the mug is made with the rectangle template like this, mug template, okay? So if you're gonna be making a mug, when you put the foot on, it's a lot easier to put together. So I purposely didn't put a foot on this one because I'm gonna show you how to make that tripod mug. So the tripod mug has 3 feet like that. So to make the tripod mug, I'm going to show it sideways here. If you can't see, get in a spot you can see because it's a little hard to see. So you're basically just going to pinch with your fingers and thumb to make a triangle. I'll show you this. Okay. Like that until you close it like this, and then these become the feet of the mug. And then you're going to need to slip and score a little bit of slab of clay in here and the inside. And then it's the same thing where you want to pinch the rim. So once you're done making your cup, you can put it by the fan. Keep an eye on it. You might need to turn it a couple times. We need it leather hard before we learn how to do the handles, and I'm going to teach handles tomorrow. Okay? So again, the templates are on the counter under the cookie cutters. You use the big block of clay and you cut it the long way, and then you put it in the slab roller the long way, the hot dog way, right? Before you start to put it together. And you want to really work on craftsmanship. If you put something like this or this unfinished on the cart without a handle, you're going to have to redo it. So really work on your craftsmanship and try to make a really good cup with a handle.